Hello everyone, this is Warm Light Tarot. Welcome to today's reading. We will have a love reading for May. I thought I would try soft speaking today. I normally do whispered videos, and I actually feel like it might be easier for me to whisper because my general voice is, it tends to be a bit uneven, but I just wanted to try how it goes. So let me know in the comments which one you prefer, whispering or soft spoken. So we will have a love reading for May. We already did a general reading for May, so check that out if you haven't seen it yet. I think at least two of the readings in the general reading were great for love, or at least really good. So if you watch that video, it may be that you won't even need this love reading. So listen to your intuition, listen to what feels the best for you. I think you will always know inside if a reading is for you or not. And some parts of it may be for you and others won't resonate with you, and that's perfectly normal since this is a collective reading. So anyway, let's start with the actual video now. So I have 3 piles of cards here. I recently bought some Japanese incense, so I thought it would be fun to use them in today's video. So here we have pile number 1, and this is Sakura Incense, so cherry blossom incense. And then we have sweet white sage for pile 2, and for pile 3 we have white plum. So I will let you have a few moments alone with these groups here if you just want to have a look at them without me talking, and see which one you feel drawn to the most. Okay? Hello, pile number 1. You chose this Sakura Incense, and here is your reading as well as some extra cards here. So this reading is for the month of May, and I feel like with the Queen of Wands and the Hanged Man here, you're very mature and ready to move, whether that means to meet someone new or commit to someone and form a relationship with someone. However, it feels like you've been waiting for it for some time because the Hanged Man is about waiting and things not really happening. So it's possible that if you are seeing someone, the other party is not really doing anything. However, I feel like it has a purpose because the Hanged Man is not hanging here upside down just for no reason. They're actually looking at things from a different perspective. And if you're single, feel like, things haven't been happening for you for some time, but you're very eager to move on from that situation. And then we reach this point of Ace of Wands here and the Hierophant here, and the Ace of Wands is about potential for change. So you've reached this point of maturation, and now things start happening for you, whether that is forming a relationship with someone or meeting someone. And we have the Hierophant down here. If you did the general reading for May, there was one pile there that had the Hierophant, and I feel like if you chose that pile, this might be a continuation for you that explains your love life in a bit more detail. So as I said in that video, the Hierophant is about conformity and rules and institutions. So, for example, marriage and commitment, even. So, marriage may not be in the business for all of you, obviously, but it could mean commitment if you are seeing someone, or it could be just a blessing from the universe. So it says yes for moving forward, yes for commitment, and just yes for something new. It's a little bit of a strict card, but it's still very loving. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles here and the Five of Chalices down here. So I feel like with the Queen of Pentacles here, you definitely achieve something new, because it's a card of extreme wealth and maturity. So something definitely happens, like maybe you meet someone, or you have a very loving relationship with your spouse or something. However, then we have the Five of Chalices down here, so that tells me that maybe you're not quite happy with everything. Like you keep focusing on what you've lost or what you haven't achieved, instead of focusing on all this that you have up here. All these pentacles and all this nature and garden and everything. I don't really like the Five of Chalices because it's too real for me, because I always tend to I think I'm very optimistic, but at the same time I'm always like, well, things could be a bit better. So that's what it tells me, that don't focus on the negative. Just focus on what you have achieved. Because I feel like you have achieved a lot, because here we have the Four of Wands, which is about celebration, and I could say that it's also a marriage card, because well, I'm not Jewish, but I've understood that these wands here kind of represent this I don't really remember the word, but kind of a canopy in a Jewish wedding. So it's a very happy card. It could be really that commitment is happening for you in this month, or that you will meet someone that you would like to commit to in the future. And maybe even some of you are actually like getting engaged or getting married, if that is what you have been talking about with your spouse. Then we have the Emperor here, and that tells me that it is a very serious commitment, because the Emperor is kind of like this CEO business type of person. So they're not very emotional, but they are committed to the task. And the other idea that I get from these cards is that if you have someone in your life, or you will meet someone new, you are kind of opposites. It's like an opposites attract kind of situation, because one of you is more kind of fiery, happy, joyful. You have a lot of this kind of fire, earthy, happy energy here, and then the other one is more serious and thoughtful. But I feel like ultimately you are going in the same direction. Okay, so now let's look at these extra cards that I pulled for you to clarify the situation. So we have the Star and the Nine of Wands. So the Star is about healing, so maybe one of you is healing from something like a previous relationship, or maybe both of you, or something else that has been going on. It feels like it is a long process, so it could be something that happened very long time ago and you are healing from it, but you have been persevering and not losing hope and just steadily working on it, because that is what the Nine of Wands represents here. And then I pulled 2 cards from the Yogic Path Oracle deck. So first we have Vishuddha, which represents the throat chakra, and it's about speaking your truth and communication, and communication that goes both ways. So it's about speaking and listening. It's about being balanced with your communication. So maybe that is something that if you are in a relationship you should pay attention to. And then we have Chinnamasta. She is a goddess of radical self-transcendence. So you can see she's tearing off her former head here, and there's kind of like a couple that she is standing on. So it's about transmuting darkness into powerful energies and letting go of the old. So I feel like for one of you, if you are in a relationship, or for you if you're single, it's maybe you had a breakup, or there's a former love and you're still healing from that, because we have the star here. But now it's the time to let go of that and transform into something else, something more beautiful and healthy, something that is better for you. So that was your reading, love reading for May. I hope that you got something out of it. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, pile number 2. You chose this sweet white sage incense. And here's your reading, and I have some extra cards here as well. So let's look at this spread here. The month starts with Queen of Cups and the Chariot here. So if you're single, or you're hoping for something more in a connection, I feel like this is a very victorious moment for you, because the Queen of Cups is about loving connections and romance, and the Chariot is about victory. So it is possible that for some of you, you will meet someone new, or there will be some progress in your relationship or in a connection. The Chariot is a part of being goal-oriented and willpower and success. So I feel like you will need to do some work on it though, so it may not just fall on your lap unless you have worked on it before. And if you are in a relationship, or there is someone in your life, I kind of feel like one of you is perhaps the more romantic type here, and one of you is the more goal-oriented person, maybe someone who is very focused on their work, as we have the 8 of Coins here next. So the next 2 cards are both 8s, and 8s are about progress. So there is definitely some sort of progress happening in your life in May. The 8 of Swords here is a bit of a scary looking card. It's about feeling trapped and anxious, but Swords are about mental energy, so it's possible that this doesn't really describe anything on the external, in the physical world, but something that is happening inside your own head. And then we have the 8 of Coins here, which is about concentration and working on something very steadily. So if you are in a relationship, or there is someone in your life, it could be that they're very focused on their work here, and that kind of, even though you're in love, you don't feel like they're giving you their time. There's something that you are working through here, through this, 8s. However, it doesn't seem to last very long, because then we get to these 2 pages. We have the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands here. So I kind of feel like, even though, you're coming to a situation from 2 different angles, if you are in a relationship, or if you have some sort of connection in your life, but you're still working at it. At the same time, you have 8s here and pages here, so you're kind of on the same page here after all this turmoil here. So Page of Pentacles is about building something new and achieving abundance on the material realm, or working on it, because pages are, you know, out of all the court cards, they're the most, you know, immature version. So you're definitely working on something, both of you. And the Page of Wands is about, you know, it's a very action oriented card, someone excited, curious. So it could be that you've reached this point in your relationship where you realize that both of you want to build something together, but it's the start of it. And then we have the Hierophant here and the Two of Coins here. The Hierophant is about it's about conformity, like for example within a church or within an education system, but it's also about commitment and spiritual love. And I also call it a marriage card, because, you know, we have the Pope here, kind of like a priest who gives you their blessing. So maybe marriage won't be in the works for you if you've just met, but I feel like it is a blessing that things will be okay, that your progress is going well, and whatever you want to build here, you know, it has, you know, the universe gives it its blessing. And the Two of Coins here, it's about balancing and being harmonious at it. So even though we have these turbulences here in the background, this person is, you know, juggling two things, but she's not too bothered about it. So the whole picture that I get from this card is that, you know, if you're meeting someone new, it will be a loving, happy occasion. And if you are in a relationship or there's a connection in your life, it has, you know, these kind of nice vibes to it. It has the Queen of Cups here and the Hierophant, the commitment card here. And there's a lot going on in this card. So we have the Juggler here. So maybe you are trying to juggle between work, because this person here, if I read this as a person, could be someone who is very work oriented. And then we have someone here who is, you know, maybe someone who is more romantic and just really wants to commit and build something together. So maybe you're just kind of trying to juggle between, you know, your two different types of personalities or something like that. I had to move the candle because I realized it was burning my hand when I was reaching for these cards here. So I pulled some extra cards for you to get more clarity on this reading. So we have the Star here and the Judgment card here. So the Star is about healing, perhaps from a previous relationship or something else that has been going on in your life or in your person's life. And then, you know, we have the Judgment card here, which is about kind of hearing the call and following your passions and feeling the pull towards something, like maybe towards your calling in life or toward a relationship. So I feel like maybe you're both trying to heal from past connections, and, you know, you're working on it, and, you know, you're both working on your passion projects. And, you know, it could be that for your person it is their work or their business, something like that. And for you, maybe your passion is directed towards love and connections. But if you are in a relationship or you have a connection with someone, I do feel like, you know, this whole reading is good, even though you may be coming from it from different angles. And then I pulled a card from the Yogic Path Oracle deck, and the card is called Kapha, which is a concept of Ayurveda, and it's the earthy dosha, and it means or it represents grounding and calming. It's about being anchored to Earth's life force, and it's about stability, and it's like a meaning that you're home. So, you know, if you definitely have someone in your life that you care about, you know, it's a good sign that, you know, you're home with each other. But if there's some turbulence in your life, it could be an advice that, you know, try to ground yourself and calm yourself by, for example, you know, spending time in nature and doing something with the earth element, whatever that means to you. So pile number 2, that was your reading, and I hope that you got something out of it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hello, pile number 3. You chose this white plum incense, and here is your reading as well as some extra cards here. So I have 2 interpretations for these cards at the beginning of the month. So first we have the Knight of Cups here, who is a very romantic figure. They're looking for love. They're very emotionally and spiritually connected. So it could be that this is you, that you've been wanting to meet someone or to deepen your relationship with someone for a while. We have the 9 of Wands here, which is about not giving up and persevering. So I feel like it has been going on from all the way here up to this point. And then we have the Justice and the Emperor card here, and the Justice is about, you know, the justice system and karma and the law of attraction, and it's about getting what you give. So I feel like if you've been working on your love life, you will eventually get back what you give. Like if you're single and you're trying to meet someone, it's easier to meet people than when you just sit at home and you don't see anyone. So it is possible that, you know, all this work is soon paying off and you will meet someone. Or this knight could actually represent someone walking into your life or riding into your life. And that person could be someone who works in the justice system or with social justice or in a big business. I'm getting very powerful vibes from this person. They're very just and ethical. They're not very emotionally connected probably, but they want to be good to you and they want to be a good person. Or it could actually be 2 different people, one here and one here. So I'm getting a lot of intense energy here from the beginning of the month, and then we arrived to the 7 of Pentacles and to the Temperance card. And the 7 of Pentacles is about working on your projects and just seeing how it goes and enjoying the process without knowing the result. And the Temperance is about balance and healing and moderation. So I feel like all this energy here just calms down and you're just enjoying what you get, and maybe even healing from something. Like maybe it has been a rough journey for you, like maybe you come from a past relationship that didn't work out, or you've been trying to find love and it just doesn't work out. So this is a very calm period for you. And then we get to the 5 of Swords here and the 2 of Wands. So the 2 of Wands is about planning. So I feel like you're planning your future on your own, or if you've met someone or you have a partner, you're planning the future with them, but maybe you're not seeing eye to eye with your person, or you have some doubts yourself about how to proceed. Like for example, it could be if these are actually 2 different people, you're not really sure which one you want to choose. There's a little bit of a conflict, and it could be something external or entirely internal that is going on. Okay. I also pulled some extra cards just to clarify the reading a little bit, and I pulled the Five of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So the Five of Cups is about feeling down and disappointed, but you're really kind of focusing on the negative here. You still have a lot left, so it's just about, being a bit too negative. You may have a valid reason, but not all is lost. Then we have the Queen of Cups, which is a very loving card. I feel like you are being reminded that you are blessed with love. Because if this, this spread here and your month kind of makes you feel like there's some conflict going on, or you have to choose between two different people or two different paths, or that things aren't working out for you in some other way, it's like, there's a reminder here for you to be loving towards yourself and to be loving towards other people, because you have achieved a lot, even though not everything has worked out for you. We have 2 of 5 cards here, and 5s are about challenge and about change and clarifying what it is that you want. So I feel like that could be a big thing for you to just, turn within, like the Queen of Chalices here, and try to connect with yourself and see what it is that you want from your future, what it is that you want from your love life. Okay. And I also pulled this Yogic Path Oracle card as well. So this card is called Rajas, which is an Indian Ayurveda concept, and it's about energy and movement and aggression and passion. It's a very fiery card, as you can see. So it's about making the most of your day and bringing your desires into action. So I feel like that is what you are doing here. There's a lot of powerful energy here, these 4 cards. But it also reminds you to balance your passion with rest. So I feel like if there is too much fire energy, too much passion in your life, you are advised to rely on the water energy, which is more emotional, more spiritual, inward energy. You have the Queen of Chalices here and the Knight of Cups here. But then again, if you're being too internally focused and kind of getting lost in your thoughts and feeling like you've lost someone, being pessimistic and sad, in that case, you should turn up the fire energy and just, continue being this, someone who is ready and willing and happy to go after what they want in their life and in their love life. Okay? So pile number 3, that was your reading. I hope that you got something out of it and that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hello everybody, I hope that you liked your reading and that it resonated with you. Before ending this video, I just wanted to show you briefly the decks that I've used today. So here I have my Rider-Waite tarot card, this lovely pouch, and this is a Yogic Path Oracle card deck, and here I have this Star Spinner Tarot. I've used all of these decks in my reading, so you will be able to spot them in other readings as well. Okay, so thank you so much for tuning in and for your support. Have a great May.